Go Green, a Family Matters Earth Day special, is made possible by the following partner.
At Providence Health and Services, we're as committed to the health of our planet as we are to the health of our patients. That's why we're doing our part to support sustainability. Providence knows a healthier world makes for healthier people.
They're an icon. They're an icon of pollination. They're an icon of crop production. Every pound of glass that goes into a furnace comes out as glass.
Look what can happen when consumers make an educated choice.
The water is reused and recycled.
There's no reason why the products we're gleaning out today have to be munched and crunched and taken to the landfill.
Keeping this out of the landfill diverts between 77 and 86 tons a month.
That's like hitting a baseball into the bleachers.
Go Green, a Family Matters Earth Day special.
Hello, I'm KATU meteorologist Dave Selesky, and welcome to Go Green. Here in the Pacific Northwest, the movement to reduce, reuse, and recycle, it's stronger than ever. In the next half hour, we'll meet people who are blazing trails to reduce the burden on our planet. So where do we begin? How about we head back 40 years or so to meet an Oregon governor who led the way one nickel at a time.
If you had throwaways, you being the brewers, you being the pop bottlers, bombard the United States with 400 billion cans and bottles a year with no responsibility.
The Oregon Bottle Bill is a measure that was signed into law in 1971 by Governor Tom McCall, and it basically put a 5-cent deposit on a number of different beverage containers, a deposit you can get back when you return your container to the store. The Oregon Bottle Bill puts the responsibility of picking up the containers and recycling them onto the distributors. OBRC is the Oregon Beverage Recycling Cooperative. We are collectively owned by about 98% of all Oregon beverage distributors. Essentially, we are the people that pick up and process the containers that are connected with the bottle bill. So we have trucks that go around to over 3,000 retail locations across Oregon, and we start the recycling process on those containers. We have joined together with some of the retailers and created Bottle Drop, which is a separate location that is staffed, clean, and convenient, and offers several different ways for people to redeem their containers. If you have only a few containers, like 50 or fewer, then you can go up to our customer service counter and have a staff member do a hand count on your containers for you, walk away with your money right there. You can get green bags that you fill at home. They have little bag tags that go on them with a barcode that's associated with your Bottle Drop account. Plastic, aluminum, glass, just throw it in there. You can drop it off here at the center anytime, day or night. We'll count the containers for you, and your deposit amount goes onto your account, which you can access with a card. We have brand new reverse vending machines, similar to the ones you see at grocery stores, but these are newer and faster. All the machines feed back into a conveyor belt system that separates the containers. So when you're standing at the machine, you can put plastic, aluminum, and glass all in one machine. Pretty much as fast as you can feed it, the machine will accept it. So you can just step right up and use the machines and get your cash right on site. Then the machine will divert the container into the right area in the back for it to be recycled.
This is what we call the tipping floor. This is where the material comes in from beverage recycling companies like OBRC, large recyclers, small recyclers, some of the garbage haulers. It's mixed glass. A lot of the material in the area is what we call 3-mix, which is the brown, clear, and green. And our technology is able to take those mixed colors and get them separated and make the furnace-ready cullet for OI. To make glass, you got to have the right color chemistry. There's all different shades of green and a couple different shades of brown, and you know, there's even different shades of the clear or the flint. And the folks down at OI are the experts at mixing the colors to get the right end product color. Well, if it's not separated, most glass furnaces can't even use it because they don't know what the color ratios are. The first step is it comes through, and all the big trash, as you can see, there's some cardboard and plastics, not a lot, but some. We have to get that pulled out pretty much by hand, and then the material goes through a crusher. goes through a belt over magnet that pulls steel and ferrous metals out, goes to a big screen, gets the big stuff and the small stuff separated from the correct size material. And after that, it goes to 2 different levels of optical sorters that actually do the color sorting of the material. Okay, so here's a perfect example of some of the contaminants that are really difficult for glass. This is a ceramic plate. Somebody put it in their curbside thinking they were doing a good thing by recycling the what they thought was glass. It's not glass, it's ceramic. It doesn't melt the same or work the same in the glass remanufacturing process. And as you can see, by the time we get it, that one plate turns into 1 million pieces, and our system has to be able to get it pulled out to be able to make the glass usable for a glass furnace. For every 2 buckets of glass is about 6 tons. That saves about a ton of carbon dioxide emissions from the air. So recycling glass is a really good deal. With glass to glass is for the Portland area and most of Oregon, we're a good option to get the highest and best use for the glass to be recycled in the state of Oregon. The real reason we're here is to get as much local and even some distant glass here collected. We can get it cleaned and color sorted so it can be ready for OI to make more glass. So it's glass in and glass out, and that's why we're called Glass to Glass.
It's the home of Oregon's most beloved animals, and they're continuing to create a more earth-friendly habitat. See how the Oregon Zoo is making it better for the animals and the environment.
The zoo is a service of Metro, your regional government, and Metro has some solid sustainability goals that we're all trying to meet to really walk our talk.
Here we go! Penguin, penguin!
We've completed the upgrade to the penguin filtration system in 2011, and that was an investment in really saving water.
This is a settling basin that picks up a lot of the larger chunks, fish, parts, those kinds of things.
We were dumping the pools and adding new water twice a week. And now we're only dumping the pool and adding new water twice a year. It's a closed loop system that allows us to not draw on the city's water supply. Some of our infrastructure dates back to the late 1950s. So a lot of what we're doing right now is not only developing new habitats and exhibits for the animals, but dealing with the underground work, the pipes and the wires, and upgrading the water and the energy systems to make sure that we're more sustainable in our operations. We're doing a lot of passive and renewable energy installation, including the geothermal slinky loop.
We've got 64,000 lineal feet of pipe that we buried 12 feet deep in the north habitat of the elephant exhibit. What this pipe will do is transfer heat that is generated from cooling polar bears over to Forest Hall at the new elephant building. The transfer of that heat should heat Forest Hall just about 100% without any outside energy use. And as Forest Hall is cooled in the summer days, that cooling will be transferred back to polar bears to help keep that cool.
We completed the Veterinary Medical Center in 2012, and that's a LEED Gold certified facility. And that includes solar panels on the roof to heat the water. It includes a rainwater collection system that helps us reuse the rainwater coming off of the roof. So we are looking at the new encounter habitat, which is part of Elephant Lands. We are expanding the elephant habitat from a little over 1 acre to about 6 acres. The key components of the Elephant Lands sustainability efforts are primarily in the pools, the water that they will be playing in, making sure that we have a solid filtration system. They're getting 190,000 gallons of water for their new pool systems. So we will be putting in a solid filtration system to make sure that the water is reused and recycled.
What you see behind us is the Oregon Zoo's very own Zoodoo. We are stockpiling it here to use in the new elephant habitat.
That's the receptacle where we bring all the manures from the zoo and we dump them here. We collect those once a week. The keepers have their own bins out there that they dump into. The manure that shows up here is only from our herbivores. We bring the temperature up to about 140 degrees and hold it there for a week. We turn the air on, drop the temperature just a little bit, allow the composting process to take place, and that's about a 30-day process.
Rather than just go out and purchase mulch or something, it's all recycled from right here at the zoo.
Keeping this out of the landfill diverts between 77 and 86 tons a month.
The zoo's vision is a better future for wildlife. So our goal is to be able to teach our visitors and our guests how they can make a better future for wildlife by reducing the consumption of their resources and understanding what is happening with habitat destruction around the world for these animals.
Hi, I'm Ed Begley Jr., and I've been recycling since 1970. I also buy recycled products. If you're buying something made out of recycled plastic, then you're completing a circle and really recycling. We have single stream in LA, so we get to put everything in one bin, but not every place in America has that. So you have to sort your plastic, your number one, your number two, your cardboard, your paper, all that stuff. But here's what you can't put in there in LA or anywhere. You don't want to have a dirty pizza box contaminated with food. That will ruin the whole cardboard load. They could have a big bale of it there. They'll look at it, some guy somewhere that's buying recycled cardboard and go, no, you got pizza and cheese on that. He'll knock the whole load out. You don't want to do that. When you go to the supermarket and they say, hey, do you want paper or plastic? Your answer should be neither. You don't want to use this stuff or the paper. What do you say? I brought my own. Bring your canvas bags or other kind of reusable bag is great. What do you do with this stuff? Oh gosh, it's not a plastic bag, has to be thrown away. Can't be put in a recycling bin. Wrong, keep it in your garage. Somebody willed it to you by sending it to you. Well, will it to somebody else. Keep it in the garage and use it when you need to pack something up. If you're ever moving, you're gonna need this stuff to pack up your china. If you're shipping something delicate, keep it. Do not throw this stuff away. Use it again and again and again and again. This kind of paper is rarely recycled in any recycling program, this kind of foil paper. Try a different paper. Indeed, a recycled paper product is very good, because if you're not buying recycled, you're not really recycling. If you buy a recycled product made out of recycled materials, like I made a fence out of this number 2 HDPE, then you're really completing a circle. You've just done a wonderful thing. You put one of these things into a recycling bin. That's like hitting a baseball into the bleachers. You hit a baseball in the bleachers, why would you only run to second base? Run all the way to home plate, complete a circle, and buy recycled products. Keep recycling, sort your stuff if you don't have single stream, and buy recycled whenever you can.
We're here at the Metro Waste Transfer Station. A lot of material in this pile back behind me comes from houses that are being torn down and are headed to the landfill. See how Habitat for Humanity is deconstructing homes to help the planet and to build up people's lives.
Basically, what you're seeing today is our Building Material Recovery Program. We are a division of the Portland Habitat for Humanity Metro Restores. That is a fundraising arm of Habitat for Humanity. We have 3 affiliates in the local area. The Restore is a donation-driven, open to the public, new and used building materials, furniture, and appliances. So everything's donated. We don't buy and sell product. Then we're open to the public, and that is a fundraising arm for Habitat for Humanity, the local affiliates, the entities that build the homes. Last year in our 3 stores, we were able to raise enough money to build 8 homes. This program that you're seeing is a building material recovery program. Again, a product procurement program for our restores that helps Habitat raise money. We go out into homes, commercial buildings, homes that are being demoed, salvage, glean, strip out products that we can sell or get to our stores and sell. So it's about diverting this product from the waste stream. Before the excavators come, the machines come and munch and crunch this home. We want to try to glean and salvage and procure as much product as we can out of the structure, divert it from the waste stream, get it to our stores, sell it, benefit the community by getting those funds to Habitat for Humanity.
Repurposing the house, salvaging parts and pieces off of it, and this is something that's important to me. The house was built in 1952. So there's going to be some nice wood come out of the house. Also the brick, we're going to save the brick for the restaurant that we're going to put on the corner here.
Well, it's going to be a marketplace for locally sourced food produce, and the restaurant is going to be next to it, which it'll serve local Northwest style food as well, serving brunch and dinner.
I mean, it's about repurposing, reusing this product, extending the life of this original product. We are just plumbing and lighting fixtures, cabinets, trim, doors, more things that we can just kind of take to our store and sell. We have a 3-pronged mission with our restores. The first is to help Habitat build homes. I mean, we want to eradicate substandard housing in our communities, and we do that through our restores by raising money and giving them money back to build the homes. The second part of that mission is to divert stuff from the waste stream. There's no reason that this good usable material is going to get munched and crunched and taken to the landfill. We want to make sure that that stuff's re-entered into the communities. That's the second mission. And then the third mission is just to offer it at affordable prices. So you're going to be able to come to the restore, find some stuff that maybe you can't find or is very expensive to order from a mill or a specialty shop, and find it at the restore. It's donation driven, so it's a little random every day and every week and every month, but you just need to come and take a lap and see what we've got.
If you be my star, I'll be your sky. You can hide underneath me and come out at night. When I turn jet black and you show off your light, I live to let you shine. I live to let you
You have no idea how your health rolls out in waves of good. Providence.
Bees, butterflies, and other bugs carry pollen from flower to flower so that plants can produce seeds and fruits. Hi, my name is Carl Grimm and I'm from Metro, your regional government, and I'm here to talk a little bit about protecting pollinators in your own yard. Now, the first thing you want to do is plant diverse flowers in your yard, especially native ones, like this Oregon grape and this red flowering currant, both of which are great spring bloomers, providing lots of nectar for pollinators. There's also lots of great non-native plants you can plant for pollinators, including sunflowers, rosemary, and lavender. When planting plants for pollinators, it's a good idea to plant several in the same general area in a clump so that the pollinators can notice them more easily. It's important to protect and create nesting sites for pollinators, and one great way is to leave some unkempt areas in your yard. A little bit of bare soil, a small brush pile, even some branches on the edge of your pathway can serve as good nesting sites. You can also make a nesting site with a simple bundle of hollow twigs and lay these around in your yard. You can also build a bee block using scrap wood like this 4x4. You can also attract other species besides mason bees with smaller holes from 5/16 on down to 1/8 of an inch. Another great thing you can do is to create a bug bath or a bee bath, as the case may be. All you need is a tray for pebbles and some water. Bees and other pollinators need water to survive, and what the pebbles do is it provides perching places for the insects and also prevents mosquitoes. One of the most important things you can do to protect pollinators is to avoid pesticides, particularly systemic insecticides, including the neonicotinoids. Reducing use of pesticides doesn't just protect pollinators, but also protects your children, your pets, and our local waterways from harmful pollution. So you can see there are many easy ways that you can protect pollinators in your own yard. To get free booklets and fact sheets on pollinator plants and safe and healthy gardening, ask Metro.
They're the pollinators with an unusual nickname, but these little creatures have created an environmental enthusiasm for an entire neighborhood.
Bees they're an icon. They're an icon of pollination. They're an icon of crop production. They are what we need. They're a keystone species for the pollination of wild plants and wild areas. The tickle bee is a species of mining bee that nests in the ground, underground, by itself. It's a solitary bee. And they were named the tickle bees by the students of Sabin Elementary School. We moved to this school 5 years ago, but years before that, these students here would come out in the springtime when these bees emerged and play with these animals, would watch them come up out of the ground, and they didn't sting and they didn't really bite. And so they named them the tickle bees, and they really just took off as a school mascot. We find the tickle bees here for probably 3 reasons. First of all, we've got a big, sunny, open field facing the south, with kids running on it all the time, so the grass isn't super thick. There's lots of holes in the grass where you can get to the dirt and the bees can dig in. Second, the soil's got to be just right. So it's not too clay, it's not too sandy, so it's well drained enough that it doesn't stay too wet, but it doesn't get too dry. And then if you look around the field here, we're surrounded by maple trees that come into bloom at the exact same time that the tickle bees come out. We've got dandelion and little daisies and bulbs and little fruit trees that are in bloom around here, so there's lots of food for the ticklebees. Most of the bees we see right on the ground right now are male bees that are looking for female bees so that they can mate and so the females can lay eggs. The females do not interact. So they'll come up out of their nests and then they'll start building new nests around the field, and you'll find little piles. It looks like a little tiny anthill of freshly dug earth, and you'll find these all throughout, especially in the bald areas, the bare spots where you can see them. You'll find them throughout, but the females don't really interact. So right here we've got a female ticklebee who's working on her nest right now. So she's digging out the entrance, she's clearing it out. The soil probably got knocked into it. You can see her just right there on the surface. She's just digging her hole or kind of clean things away. The female bee is the one that's going to find a new nest, dig the hole in the ground, do all the work of getting pollen and nectar to bring back to that hole. So underground, underneath here, are little capsules, like little cells. She may build 10, 15, 20 of them underground. Each one has a ball of pollen and nectar on it and an egg laid on that. And so she's got to build this hole down underneath here to do this over and over and over again. The males are just flying around doing their thing. 2 years ago, the Saban Neighborhood Association rolled out a bee-friendly garden effort. So this neighborhood is a leader in Portland for supporting homeowners and gardeners all throughout the neighborhood who've enrolled in this. There are 20 or 30 different homes that have got bee-friendly gardens set up. And so the word's spreading that we can support ticklebees, honeybees, bumblebees, just in all of our homes and gardens. And it's exciting that kind of for me, all this culminates here. And it's great that my daughter can go to school at a place that loves the bees as much as we do. These bees are out for a short period of time. They come out middle of March, and by the middle of May, they'll be done. So you've got a small window to see them and to appreciate what they're doing.
From railroad iron to pieces of an old bridge, you never know what you might find inside. Check out a place we found that serves great food and gives new life to old industrial materials.
I'm Russ Hubbard. I'm owner of the Industrial Cafe. We built the building, the apartments, and then we had the shell down here. And I knew I wanted to do a neighborhood restaurant. 35 seats is all we are. The food is just great American comfort food. I really enjoy repurposing metals we find and put them into architecture, and that's what we built here. So this was in use on a bridge. The nut operates, so kids are always here turning the nut and things, but it made a great piece for our counter here. And this is some wood we took out of an old warehouse that we repurposed for this counter. These were gears off of a wood shaper. The table we dismounted and used some of our old wood again and put this here as a brace for our shelf. The railroad iron, we got that from a company in Linton, Oregon that had a tall rail. We had to have a special rail that met the height to put your feet on. These gears came actually from across the street. There was a company called Freeman Balers, and this was one of their early gears that they used in their hay balers. And then an interesting aspect of the men's room is the urinal, and the plumber and I had fun building this out of used parts that he had and gauges. And then the electrician had to get involved, so he put some lights in that would change as the pressure comes back up. This is our shop and storage area. Here's some of the gears that are in waiting for a project. We've got cubbyhole all around the warehouse, different items. I like to see the colors in the actual steel when it gets heated or ground a certain way, and then also when the elements hit it, it gives it a rust, and use the natural colors that are in the steel. We found 2 pieces of curved pipe like that, and they sat around for a while like I normally do, and then I figured out, well, we need some bike racks. And where this pipe goes in now, there was a cable this big that was for bridge abutments. I think we've gotten rid of so many great pieces of castings and everything that people don't get up close anymore and see that. You can see pictures and that sort of thing, but actually to touch and feel something that people don't really get to see that often. My favorite part is when people don't realize that their feet are on a railroad iron or They're sitting at gears and they're wondering what to do, what they were from, and that sort of thing. You know, they're all part of me that I've brought to this restaurant.
They're precious gems, but they can cost a high price to the environment. But we found an Oregon company leading the way that can create the same sparkle without causing a burden on the planet.
Well, most people don't know that we can actually create diamond now in a modern day lab environment that are more affordable and less conflict than anything we'll get out of the earth. I started Mia Donna when I learnt the truth about my own earth mine diamond. I had realized that I'd most likely bought a conflict diamond. So if it's a conflict diamond, it has hurt humanity and it also has hurt the environment. I decided there had to be a better way because it was a conflict diamond. And so I started Mia Donna to relieve the pressures that these commodities put on the earth. So we have two different technologies. We have man-made diamonds, and they're also called synthetic diamonds or lab-created diamonds. And then we have our diamond hybrids. Our man-made diamonds are chemically and optically identical to an earth mine diamond, pure crystallized carbon. We just speed up the process in a chamber of heat and pressure. Basically, it's very similar to making ice in your freezer. It's a modern day controlled environment. You're just freezing water. We're just making crystallized carbon. This is a man-made diamond, and then this one is a diamond hybrid. As you can see, they're all very similar because they're all made with crystallized carbon. Our hybrids, they do have a crystal core, so they're not going to be as hard as a man-made diamond. However, optically, they're identical. But the best part about this was that it was going to be the sustainable funding source for our charity foundations through the Greener Diamond Foundation. So we actually go back into diamond mining communities and we build farms. So we now have a 100-acre farm in Sierra Leone. It's in the Kono district of Sierra Leone. Right now we're actually doing a new farm in Liberia, and it's a different kind of program. It is a community farm, so it is branching out and helping a lot more people, and it's a pay it forward. So every person that we train and give the tools to and the knowledge to grow their own food on their own land, they will train another 10 people and we will supply the funding for that. Look what can happen when consumers make an educated choice before they purchase. It really, it defines that consumers do hold the power in changing the world.
We've only scratched the surface on ways we can ease the burden on our planet. For more information, head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you'll find a complete resource center with links, video clips, and information to help you go green. For K2 and Family Matters, I'm Dave Selesky. Good night.